There's a saying that a little light can dispel a tremendous amount of darkness. And there's no situation I know that's darker than the Israel-Hamas battle going on right now in the Middle East. And there's one person I know that's able to speak with clarity, conviction, and personal experience about the evils of the Palestinian. There's a saying that a little light can dispel a lot of darkness. And there's no darker situation than the Hamas war against Israel and the entire world. And there's one person that's speaking with tremendous clarity. He's the son of Hamas. His father founded Hamas many years ago. He rebelled against him, left Hamas, and now speaks out against the dangers of Palestinianism. Here he is debating a Hamas activist on campus.
Name 3 books as source of your information.
Yeah, sure. The Nation Forum by Rashida Khalidi.
Who is that? I never heard of this woman.
He was actually he was part of the peace process in the 90s.
Okay.
But you don't know about him. That's fine. I still respect your opinion. It doesn't mean that you're wrong just because you don't know a single author, okay? That's fine.
All the books that you read looks like going only in one direction, to delegitimize Israel.
Do you know who Benny Morris is?
I don't need to know. I think you're just making up stuff.
Or the making of the Israeli nation.
And I think...
Making of the Israeli nation. Do you know that book? Or are you just uneducated?
Look,
what's the answer?
Listen, what did I tell you from the beginning of this conversation? I don't need to read books to know my
you don't need to read books, but I do.
I write the books. I live the experience. I am the author.
All the credibility you gained.
I am not a second-hand knowledge.
All of the credibility that you gained by living in Palestine was taken away from you when Israel put you on their paycheck.
First of all, if you want to take personal aim, I can take you on a rabbit hole that you will never get out of it.
Sure. Go ahead.
I have been patient and respecting you. You know why? Because you're just an arrogant student with no knowledge, with no life experience, advocating on a very dangerous cause, being a useful idiot in the hands of terrorists, creating trouble, putting encampment, breaking the law, advocating on behalf of a terrorist organization designated by the American law as a terrorist organization, makes you a terrorist. So if you want to talk about personal things, you challenge me for doing a legitimate work for a democracy to save human lives, and you want to reduce my effort to say that I got paid 10 years fighting and chasing after terrorists who blow up, killed Americans, Israelis, Arabs, Muslims, all type of people indiscriminately. Do you think you can sit here and judge me? And you don't have the authority to sit there and judge, tell me I took money or I did not take money. This is not your business.
No, you did take money. That's a fact, and that's fine.
This is not your business.
You took money from Israel, and that's okay. You're a propagandist for Israel. That's just a fact, and it's the reality of the situation.
No matter what I say, he's going to say you are paid. You're on a payroll. You are advocating on behalf of the Zionists. And he will continue to be in his denial for eternity. This is a phenomenon of useful idiots that they're advocating on behalf of a dangerous organization. They're bringing chaos, intifada, to the United States of America.
This student was so arrogant, in fact, that he decided to make up numbers on the spot. But then he got caught by the moderator, and it really blew up in his face.
Now, then also the claim that the Arab leaders told Palestinians to leave because they'd be able to return later. Well, that's true, but it accounts for a couple thousand, maybe 20,000, as compared to like 700,000.
Where are you getting that fact from?
What were your numbers?
Well, no, what I'm asking you, where were you getting that fact from?
It's just general knowledge.
What? Well, I mean, it's important. It's important.
If you have a more accurate number.
I'm not. It's not. This is not my. I'm not debating here. I'm just asking questions.
Oh, sure. So, well, the number is 700,000. Do you agree with that number?
No, I do agree with that.
The number of a couple thousand, if not tens or 20,000s.
Okay, but you do agree, right? You do agree that it's really, really important when we're saying these things. Let me finish. Because we've been listening to you. And it's really, really important when you make these statements which are affecting people's lives in the world that we are accurate in our facts. And so I'm not criticizing you right now. I'm just asking you where your source is. I really want to know.
No, if you have a more accurate number.
Okay, thank you. It's okay.
Well, how much is it? How much is it? Because if it was it 700,000 that we're told by the Arab population?
Mr. Yousef might be able to tell, and an academic in the audience or somebody who knows might be able to tell. But
no, because it's important to recognize that just because I don't remember a source from a research that I did 8 or 9 months ago doesn't mean that the reality isn't the case.
Okay.
But if it was 10,000, well, that's important. That means that only 690,000 Palestinians were forced out of their homes.
Well,
it doesn't make a big difference.
These are hypothetical situations, but we really want to deal with facts when we're dealing with human lives.
So you can call me TikTok watcher, you can call me Gen Z, you can call me arrogant. What you can't do is respond to the facts.
What facts?
Well,
what facts?
To be fair, we need facts, and that's what I was kind of asking you about. So,
well.
The fact that I was born there and you weren't? The fact that you have a second-hand knowledge?
No, the fact that
you think saving human life is treason?
Actually, the audience decided to join the panel and debate. And in fact, this UCLA student was so uncomfortable, he wasn't even able to look at her as she described what Hamas did to her and her friends, what she encountered in Gaza. Check it out.
I guess I just would ask you the simple question of what do you want the world to know? What do you want Mr. Doyle to know?
I'm an artist. I served the army 22 years ago. I have all the signs on me. I had an Arabic necklace on me. I had the Indian Ganesh tattoo on me. I had Pharaoh on my fingers because I'm half Egyptian and half Moroccan, but I'm Jewish. Okay? And I have the letter I got on my hand. You know why? Because I believe in coexisting. Did you know that the vast majority of the hostages believes in coexisting? So I'm an artist. And on October 7th, I went to fulfill my dream. I went to make my dream come true. When October 7th happened, and that's a fact, they told me it in the inside. They didn't know about the Nova Festival music. They didn't know that we have 3,000 people in there. They planned, and they told me that. They planned to move on and kill as much as they could in Beersheba, in Tel Aviv, in Haifa. They wanted to slaughter everybody. You know what? Maybe you will not believe me. I can present you my videos that I took there. Do you know how many bodies were there? Do you know how much violence was taken on me? I was caught in the middle of a lynch. I was presented as a soldier because I chose to wear green army look-alike uniform that day. By mistake, I was categorized as a soldier, and I was treated as a soldier. When I was entering Gaza, and I told you before, I have Arab suppliers, I have Arab neighbors and Arab friends. When I was entering Gaza, and there is a video of that, I saw 100% of civilians celebrating me being taken. All I saw is 100% of civilians lynching me, beating me up. I was with a broken leg. I had bruises all over my body. Do you know that I've never cursed them? I've never argued with them. And I've never treated them like garbage. I respected them, even when they abused me. But how can you have a discussion with none of the Hamas representatives sitting here now, and you will never sit here right now? How can you have both sides facts if only one side is volunteer to sit here at all time? Did you see any one of the Hamas comes to sit here?
After being challenged on Hamas atrocities and how terrible they are by this Israeli hostage, this student decided not to backtrack, but in fact decided to dig himself into an even deeper hole. In fact, he went the route of defending Hamas, saying that it could potentially be a viable negotiating partner for Israel. This despite the fact that Hamas is not only avowed to Israel's destruction, but also has repeatedly stated on live television that they would commit October 7th again and again.
I can't speak for the people who didn't want to speak. But what I can say is that the view of Hamas as a completely implacable force is not completely incorrect, because they see the Palestinian issue as a very religious issue, and going back on that issue is seen as going back on God. But like we saw with the PLO, over time, they become more of a political movement and less of a nationalist movement, like we'll see with Hamas. Like we've seen with the change from 1987 charter to 1917 charter, they change and they adapt and they grow over time, and it's changing from a staunchly religious movement. Obviously, it still is a very much religious movement, but the movement itself, especially with regard to Hamas, becomes more political and becomes more malleable. The idea is that
Okay, this guy is a useful idiot. If you watched when she was speaking to him about the atrocities committed against Israelis and the lynching that she experienced, he couldn't even look at her in the face. That tells me this guy doesn't want to face the truth. So we have somebody who went through the experience herself, and we have Mosab, Yousef, as well. And we could see that they speak with power, they speak with clarity, they speak with truth. And when you start doing that, the other side just falls apart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a war of genocide against the Jewish people, with useful idiots like this college student who just want to destroy the Jewish people, but they can't stand up to the facts, they can't stand up to the truth.